Here we go. We're at Shine
Ooh.
2022. A Smash Bros. Melee, I think, first event is fair to say. But hey, we're running Splatoon 2. We're having a ton of fun here. And Smash players want to get in on the action. So Efficient Ignorance going head-to-head with a very strong team, Stargaze.
Yeah, so, I mean, with the big, with the announcement of Splatoon 3 and as well as some other things, for example, Squid House, which happened, God, was that 2 years ago now?
Yeah,
That was 2 years ago now. Yeah, we've kind of seen more kind of crossover in events. Splatoon being at Smash primary events rather than, just kind of, oh, this LAN has everything event. And I'm hoping that continues up into Splat 3. And hopefully we'll see even more Smash players coming into Splatoon, as it seems like Splatoon 3 is turning out to be a pretty technical game. There's some crazy things going on. You were practicing. Your. You're like, okay, I haven't booted up the tutorial. I'm going to boot up the tutorial and let's practice. Yes, only practice my tech before I played a moment of this game.
I mean, I've done my best to try to avoid a lot of this stuff on Twitter and a lot of the how the game is going, but yeah, no, I showed up this morning and we sat right down at the Splatoon 3 station where everyone's playing in the testing area or in the lobby, and just went for these roles. Yeah, technical indeed. But I don't want to minimize the tech of Splatoon 2, and that's clearly something that Stargaze has been practicing here as we get ready to move in. Splat Zones on New Albacore Hotel is going to be our first match. Not the most competitive, consistent map.
Yeah, I don't think this is too bad a map. I'd say it's the best of all of the maps that people don't put in competitive. So this is an interesting mode, interesting stage on Splat Zones here. Looks like
early swim.
Yep, we got a 2-DOS. A little bit of bath time coming out on the side of Stargaze, and that's going to potentially help them open the zone here. Bako with a very nice kill does also survive that bomb. They're trying to cap that zone here, canceling that bomb with the splashdown, but nonetheless still seems to be very even on both sides. Stargaze getting an early cap, but and a nice kill from RDB, as it does look like Stargaze finally gets that upper edge.
Efficient Ignorance not quite able to capitalize on the player advantage Stargaze gave them, and now it's going to be Stargaze in control of the map here, and we just see RDB just camping this ledge, but a beautiful pick from G-Sinos, who goes down themselves to reflect JB up in the front line. It's the second time we've seen that. They're not able to find the second pick they want, but now in a player advantage, it is Efficient Ignorance who's able to push into zone, but Doman struggling to find a way in, popping this armor along with one other special. They're looking for a route, but they go down. Now just two players on the far right side. It's G-Sinos and whoever that shot is, I'm so sorry, Bako, and they're not going to find a way into zone quite yet. Stargaze holding on with 26 remaining.
Ooh, my goodness, trying to get that snipe. Bako does manage to land it. Rain's going to potentially slow down the zone here. It all comes down to whether Doman can do something. It seems to go almost to neutral, but not quite enough. Stargaze does take that game one.
Efficient Ignorance, in player advantage, had special advantage a couple times, but not able to find the routes into zone, maybe not so confident with the map mode, with whatever prep they were able to do to get into before today, not able to kind of nail the way that New Albacore Hotel works. However, I don't think that means that that's going to be how the rest of the set works, with a little bit more traditional map modes coming up. Next, Tower Control Sturgeon Stipyard on the way, Rainmaker, Snapper Canal, another common one. They definitely have a way. They found picks, they found specials. They just need to pop them and find and understand the map a little more deeply than what New Albacore Hotel was able to give them.
Yeah, New Albacore Hotel, of course, being such a big map and full of grates, you kind of have those long open sight lines compared to something like Sturgeon Shipyard. Besides the middle area, there's almost no long open straight areas on this map, and that might work better for a team that's running a roller, especially.
I'm not sure if you're catching it on your end, but I'm hearing Acropora's claps coming out once again as they play their game. Stargaze on a 4K or 3 out of their 4 games have been KOs, a 4-game win streak. That is a tough precedent that they are setting here to try to beat as they steamroll ahead into game 2 here. Tower Control Sturgeon Shipyard. You talked about the mobility in tower earlier. It is a struggle to not push too far ahead, but not stay too far behind the tower, and kind of moving with a static element like tower that you don't get to necessarily move too quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely push up ahead of the tower, but you better have a plan to get back to the tower, and you better have a plan to hold your ground.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, those are kind of like the two big deals of pushing on tower control. Sturgeon Shipyard, in particular, very, very close range path around where that tower moves. So, a lot of crazy fights are going to be happening right by that tower path.
Talk about having a plan. We're going to see what efficient ignorance has been able to craft up here as they move into this game. Of the Blobobber coming out for them, a weapon we've seen from Acropora earlier today, but the first time for them in this game too, a very low paint output set if Joe Mama on that blob is not able to find space.
Yeah, Joe Mama on the blob is potentially life-ending to Stargaze if they can make it work. It does seem to be that rain variant. But already 2 members of Efficient Ignorance going down. A very aggressive push from Yeet, as we've seen in the last set or two on that K-Pro as well. Gets another one. There's yet another over on that right side. Can they get it? They get pinched, but they do get one more before they get taken out. This tower is rolling on through that first check.
2 delayed wipes in favor of Stargaze here as they move through this first checkpoint. 55 ticks remaining at this point. A very strong advantage here as RDB is able to pop those missiles, find another pick moving up. That's 2 picks, 3. RDB going around the left side, just finding Q-Synapse. Sinos, sorry, and finding the pick. That's another full wipeout for Stargaze. This tower is not stopping. Efficient Ignorance stuck in their spawn here as Stargaze keeps applying pressure. 2 more picks all the way down to the finishing line there. Stargaze coming out swinging.
Tower control, any percent speedrun world record coming out there. The tower started and did not even hesitate for a moment. Very aggressive play coming out from Yeet as well as JB and RDB while Snow locked it down on that tower. Very, very nice play, and that's another 2-0 lead coming out for Stargaze here. They're looking to be very strong in their pool, and we'll see if anything can halt their momentum.
5 games in a row, 1-2 Stargaze, 4 of them KOs. Keep counting. This is very important for Stargaze that they're able to hold this momentum moving forward. They feel good about themselves. They need to stay in that mental game.
Absolutely. And whether they can halt that momentum is going to be a big deal, because the next thing we're heading into is Rainmaker. Rainmaker, nothing's holding you back. You can move the objective as fast or as slow as you'd like. And we'll see what happens here as both teams get ready to get locked in here.
Snapper Canal, a map that sort of has 2 big choke points. One's in the street, one's right above the court as you swim up that wall. It's a Rainmaker map that is super fast to those chokes, and if you get through the choke, the game is over. So it's super vital here. Stargaze able to get to that choke point, get the ball rolling, and keep it rolling. Efficient Ignorance wanting to apply some pressure, not let it just be a complete total wipeout here as we move into Game 3. Game 6 of today on stream. Stargaze up 2-0, looking for a quick, easy 3-0.
Yeah, here we go. This Tent Umbrella coming out, looking to escort the tower. That blob does come out again, a very solid pick on a Rainmaker, and we actually got a Charger again coming out from G-Senos. So overall, this right side is going to be a big deal as well. Otherwise, this tent is just going to force them back and back and back. And here they go. JB using their teammate's shield in order to move up. They get a couple more kills.
JB!
2 more. A full wipe. Here comes that Rainmaker pushing up aggressively. One going down. The second one's trapped by the tent shield. They need to back up into spawn. They have nowhere to go. The Rainmaker rushing up to that goal, and they're going to dunk it. That was yet another speedrun.
2 back-to-back. What a dominant performance from Stargaze now as they get 5 of their 6 games in KOs. An incredible start to Wave 1 for them as they apply pressure and keep it going. Look, we got a C- rank and a B- rank in Rainmaker here for Efficient Ignorance. Obviously, a team of Smash players. I hope they keep at it. Splatoon 2, obviously something we love so dearly and keep coming back to. We showed up here. And it's a game that has a learning curve. It's hard to jump headfirst into a team like Stargaze, but I wish them the best of luck in the rest of their pool as Stargaze taking this at 3-0.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can be a little bit discouraging at times to be a team that is coming in here with like not Well, I think at this point in the game, we're 5 years into
Yeah.
Splatoon 2, and I think most people are X rank at this point. If you're in competitive, even if you're not like one of the best, eventually by time and by your own progression, you'll make it to X rank. But people who are newer to the game potentially have a hard time getting there because Splatoon 2, there's probably not as many newer people, but with Splatoon 3, we're getting a hard reset, and there's actually there are some changes being made where if you are Splatoon 2, if you play Splatoon 2 and have high ranks, your rank just gets boosted from the start. So actually at the start of Splatoon 3, you're not going to get bodied by Splatoon 2 players. You're actually going to be meeting with a whole bunch of new players enjoying the game for that first time. And I think that's a really great experience, especially with just the just the interest coming into Splatoon 3. Like how many hundreds of thousands of people were watching that direct?
Right.
Yeah, there was like
Yeah, there's clearly a lot of
500K or I don't even know what it was. It was
Right.
a big number.
clearly a ton of hype moving into this game, and we're pulling in from other communities. And there's been a lot of conversation, I think, in the Splatoon 2 world of like, what are the transferable skills moving forward? How are we going to make sure that we are staying on top, staying in our silly little Ludi division as we move into Splat 3? And, we talked a little bit about how you are going to get that little boost if you're X-Rank in Splatoon 2, but also getting a lead on Splat 2 mechanically, the way you hold your controller, the way you use motion controls, understanding the game more deeply. There are obviously going to be parallels with the same or very, very similar variations of the same competitive ranked game modes. So understanding how the game functions and getting to do it on such a cool stage like this one is super important when you want to look at Splatoon 3.
Absolutely. And, if you're curious about how the game functions, I've got it right here. Oh my goodness.
Try to avoid the glare.
All right. We're
gonna
gonna do this. I'm gonna play.
Can you?
Does this work?
Are you controlling another switch halfway across the room? Is that what's happening?
I don't think so.
There you go, Splatoon 3.
Splatoon
3 on
3.
stream for ya.
We'll see if we can get it. We're going to actually hop to a quick break while I can play Splatoon 3. That's not the reason, but we're going to hop to a very quick break. It does look like we're going to be seeing Efficient Ignorance on the stream yet again. And it looks like I can't tell who the other team that's going to be joining is.
Looks like Akrapura walking up to the stage as we
Ooh.
speak. We are going to hop to a 3-minute break. We will see you shortly.
We'll be right back.